Hello and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to take a look at Tinkaton EX and its big hammer attack. Let's hop onto it. Alrighty, so here is the deck list. Let's take a look at Tinkaton EX. First of all, it's a stage 2 Pokemon, so a little bit harder to set up, but it has a really great attack. The big hammer. For 2 colorless energy, you're doing 30 times the number of cards in your hand. So we've seen this on some other Pokemon like the Galarian Berserker, allowing you to do 20 per every card in your hand. So this is definitely a big upgrade. Even though it's only a 10 damage difference, that can really stack up over time. So for our draw engine, we are playing the baby Tinkaton with the Gather Materials ability, which allows you to discard 1 card from your hand, but then you get to draw 3 cards. But why are we playing this over the Gardevoir engine? I did try the Gardevoir engine. I thought it was pretty good. I just felt like it was a little awkward sometimes during the mid game and the late game because of the fact that you're using your resources like your Level Ball and the Nest Ball to get, either a Ralts or a Tinkatink in play, whereas with this version of the deck, you're just focused mainly on Tinkaton, which means you only need to focus on 1 evolution line so that you have more options. If you need to draw more cards, you can play the Tinkaton. If you need to attack, you can evolve into the Tinkaton EX and then attack with that. And we also have some other ways to draw through our deck, so you don't really miss out on not having the Gardevoir engine. I think the Tinkaton is just plenty. Another great thing about the Tinkaton is the fact that it has a special hammer attack. We do play reversal energies in this deck, so you can slap on reversal energy onto the Tinkaton. It counts as a special energy for the special hammer attack, so you're doing 90 plus an extra 90, so you're hitting for 180, which is really great in the late game if you need a 1 prize attacker. Another form of draw that we do have in the deck is the Rotom V. It's really great to have turn 1, that way you can start drawing when you don't have any attackers in play. And we also play the 4 Seal Stone to pair with it, so that if you're missing, like, say, DTE or Rare Candy or the Tinkaton EX, you can find those missing pieces with the 4 Seal Stone, and then you can just collapse it away and not have a 2 prize liability on your bench. Now, something that this deck really struggles with is Iono. So if your opponent Ionos you in the late game, that can really mess up in how you finish out the game, so you definitely want to play the Milotic with the Do Guard ability. Allows you to prevent your hand from getting affected by any of your opponent's supporters, so this is super detrimental. So I've seen people play the Radiant Jirachi in the Tinkaton list, and I really love it. I think it is a great addition to the deck. The Entrusted Wishes ability forces your opponent to play around the Jirachi, and if they can't play around it, then you just get 3 free cards, which is really great for the big hand attack, and it's also great to give you those missing pieces, like I said. And also, we play DTE ourselves, so we could use Astral Misfortune, so that if your opponent tries to play around the Jirachi, you can just keep sending up the Jirachi. The Jirachi could get a free KO some point in the game. Now, our supporter lineup is really weird. We do play the Thorton, and at first I was like, I don't think we need the Thorton, but it has been really clutch in a lot of games, especially in the late game, because you're playing things like the Rotom, or the Jirachi, the Manaphy. It may not be useful at certain points in the game. You can use Thorton to switch those basic Pokemon into a Tinkatink, and then Rare Candy evolve into a Tinkaton just right off the bat. We're also playing Falkner. Falkner doesn't seem like a great card, but we play stadiums ourselves. So if you do have a stadium in play, you draw 4 cards, which is a really great supporter, especially for a deck like this, where you want to see more cards in your hand more often. Another weird supporter that we have is the Jacq. Not only lets you get 2 evolution Pokemon into your hand, but those evolution Pokemon could be the things like the Tinkaton with the Gather Materials ability, so that you can use that ability to draw an extra 3 cards. So you can think of Jacq as like a +3, and you're also setting up your board. And that's pretty much it for the deck list. Here is an image of the list if you want to try it out for yourselves. I definitely tried a bunch of different versions of the deck, and then this is the one that I do like. I think Tinkaton is really great. I think after you get past like the first couple of turns where it might get scary to get set up, I think this deck can be really powerful. Now, a quick announcement before we get into the games. I will be traveling to Yokohama for the Pokemon World Championships. I won't be playing personally, but last year I went to go spectate at the London World Championships and I loved it, so I will be going again to Japan. It's been on my bucket list for so long, so I'm super excited. But that does mean that for the next couple of weeks, I won't be having any videos out. But if you want to check out my experience in Japan and at the World Championships, then definitely check out my Instagram. It will be in the description below. I'll be posting content onto that. But without further ado, let's hop onto the matches with Tinkaton EX. Okay, looks like we might be going up against Lost Tina. Let's go VIP Pass. Just because I'm scared that they might hit me with Cram, what I could do is attach the active retreat, go into the Jirachi, and then pass. So let's actually set that up. Yeah, I think that seems fair. Because going second, they could just, you know, play a bunch of Comfies, Colress, and then smack me with Cram. But now that I think about it, they could just rope me here. In which case, I guess I'll push up the Rotom. That seems fine. Or if they do double rope, then we at least save the Tinkatink from getting knocked out. This hand is actually pretty good too. Avery could be very useful. I think what we might do is go Colress instead. We got the DTE, so we can put that onto the Tinkatink, but we do want to try and get a Rare Candy this next turn. Because if we can Rare Candy and avoid having to use the Colress, we could boss up the Giratina as well. But we do have to watch out. Once they get to 10, they could snipe my board with Sableye, which could be brutal. And also, Giratina's V-Star ability just knocks us out, so we won't be able to tank through that. What have they gotten rid of so far? Jet Energy, Boss. Boss is pretty good. Glad to see that. 2 switch cards already down. Already using a Jet Energy to put the Giratina in play, which is very interesting. And just an Abyss Seeking from my opponent. Interesting. Am I feeling ballsy? Do I want to do DTE to the Jirachi and swing? That could work. I think we will do Colress here. Yeah, let's go Colress. Go DTE. I guess these guys. Well, I don't know. Did they play Hand Disruption in Lost Tina? I don't think so. Let's see. And I also have 2 more, either in the prizes or in the deck, so I can kind of live without it. Let's go ahead, plop that down and that down. I don't know. I mean, if we get the DTE knockout on Giratina, that'll be pretty hype. Let's try it. Why not? Okay. Astral Misfortune, 2 heads right here. Ah, dang. Okay. We had to give it a shot. Well, this also means that the Jirachi is now a threat, right? So if they do get Cram or Giratina V-Star in play, they have to knock out the Jirachi at some point. And this is also really nice because if I do somehow get Thorton, I could use Thorton to make this into a Tinkaton or a Tinkatink that I can evolve into a Tinkaton and not have to worry about the DTE attachment to it. But no Thorton in hand. They could Greninja me, but I haven't seen water yet. But it is a possibility. And just another Abyss Seeking and pass, which is very interesting. I think we'll go another Colress here. We got the Tink, we got that. And the Rare Candy. I think those are going to be the moves here. Yeah, let's do this. So I'm going to Level Ball. I think I need to grab... Actually, let's do this. I'm going to go Rare Candy, the Tinkaton, onto the Tinkatink. So many Tinks to keep track of. Get rid of the VIP pass to draw 3 cards. What does that give me? Okay. We could retreat, evolve, put the DTE onto the Tinkatink. I think we definitely get the knockouts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh yeah. I think we got it. So yeah, we'll play this. Drop the DTE. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. And go ahead and retreat. Put the Tinkaton EX in play. We're definitely hitting for 250. If I play one more card, I can afford to play one more card because that put me down to 220. So let's go ahead and Level Ball. Grab another Tinkatink. That way we do have it on board. Yep, we're hitting for 220 and we'll knock out the Giratina V. Okay, so now we're at a point where we don't need the Rotom V anymore. So next turn I could just Thorton that. Well, I don't have a Tinkatink in the discard anyway. I don't have to worry about using Thorton just yet. If they do get their board set up, this will be a perfect time to Avery. They do bench another Giratina V, so I can boss that up. It doesn't look like they have an attacker set up this turn, so if they do gate energies to the Giratina, I can just go and snipe that for another 2 prizes. I'm worried, I don't know if Giratina V or if Lost Tina plays any hand disruptions. There is that water energy, so they could snipe the Jirachi and the Tinkatink. Does this have to be in the active? It does. Unfortunate. Okay, so they are going to go for a 2 prize KO here. And there's a path. Okay. So Tina's going to go for it. The Moonlight Shuriken, knock out the Jirachi and the Tinkatink. Which is not the end of the world. I'm not too fussed about that. We still have boss KO on the Tina. That's really the biggest threat. If they don't swing into my Tinkaton EX, it's just gonna mow through all their attackers and they're not gonna have anything to set up. They could Sableye KO my board. That's a possibility. But I can go Carrier, Knockout. Let's do this. Let's go gather materials, get rid of the VIP pass. Okay. I could bench the Manaphy here, just in case if they do want to try and smack me with the Tina, or not the Tina, the Greninja. How do I want to play this out? I don't see why not. We can do this. We can go Carrier to get back these guys. I'll bench this. And how much am I doing? 340, plenty of damage. Then we'll go ahead and boss up the Tina. And then smack for another knockout on Giratina V. Seems pretty good. And even if they do play hand disruption, we do have some draw with our deck now that we have to gather material, so we can push to get our hand size, you know, really big to get knockouts on their Pokemon. So I'm not too worried. What are they at in terms of Lost Zone? They're at 9, so the Sableye is online this turn. They could Sableye my board if they wanted to, but they would have to knock out one or the other. They can't knock out both. They're gonna rope me? You rope me? I guess we can push up the Manaphy. Well, let's push up the Tinkatink. But yeah, I'm super excited about Worlds. Japan's been on my bucket list for such a long time. My roommate and I, we've been planning to go for like years, but it just never happened. And then when I was at London Worlds last year, they announced that it was in Yokohama, and I said to myself, like, I have to go. Like, I enjoyed Worlds so much last year. Figured, why not do it again? Okay, there's the Iono. So there's merits to having the Feebas set up. But again, I don't think it's gonna be too hard for me to take a knockout on my opponent's board next turn. Okay. Lost Mine probably to knock out the Manaphy and the Tink, or Tink and then put some on the Manaphy. They might put stuff on the Rotom. No, it looks like they're just going for the Manaphy. Okay. So they'll take a prize here. Next turn they can take a prize and set up a damage here, but I think at that point we're all set to go. Let's go Colress first. Jacq, Level Ball, Rare Candy. Actually, I don't need the Jacq. I think I can just grab Level Ball here. Gather materials to get rid of one of the level balls. I don't want to put the Feebas in play now because then they can get an easy 2 prize next turn. I think at this point, I'm doing enough to take the knockout. Yeah, I think we're good. Because they don't have a Giratina V set up, so it's not like they can V-Star knock me out next turn. So I'm not worried about that being a potential option. They can use Sableye to knock out the Manaphy and set up everything for next turn, but as long as I can freely retreat and move things around, I have the TTE, so I can move my bench Pokemon, and then I'll just knock out whatever's in their active. They won't be able to take 3 prizes this next turn. The Rotom has too much HP. And there's the concede. Yep, so we were in a dominating position that whole game. Tinkaton is just a powerhouse of an attacker. Okay, not a bad hand. Starting with Jirachi. Always good. We have VIP Pass. So I can get us some stuff. And some Colress. I hopefully don't get turn 1 Ionode. Looks like we're going up against Arc Chien Pao. Yep, there's a Frigibax. And a pass. Okay. So I do need to be weary of Greninja, which is unfortunate. Do I put Tinks in play? I definitely need the Tinks. Do I go double Tinks or do I put Feebas? I think I'll grab the Feebas. Actually, let's see. We have Milotic in the deck. We have all those. How many rare candies are we? We have all candies. I think I have DTE in hand. No, I have Reversal in hand. Okay, so we'll go with this. Then we'll go grab Colress. We want that. We want this. Probably want that too. Yeah, this seems like a great hand. We have Colress for next turn. Yeah. Let's do this. We definitely want a level ball to grab. Oh, the Manaphy's prize. That's what I was missing. Okay, so Manaphy being prized, not all that great. So we probably need to bench some more Tinks. I mean, we have Carrier as well to work with. Let's do this. And I'll go Nest Ball for Rotom. Let's attach energy to active. That way we can pivot. Okay, so I am worried about Greninja. Manaphy being prized, not all that great. There's a Rare Candy into the Baxcalibur. Do they have the Arceus? They have Irida, so that can get them Greninja. I can give them Chien Pao. Get them Ultra Ball as well. Chien Pao switch, okay. So this allows them to attack with the Chien Pao. But do they have the Greninja to snipe the bench? Don't know. They could just smack into the Jirachi, which would be best case scenario. Because then I can get Rare Candy and DTE. And get double Rare Candy, DTE. Clone! Ugh. Of course. Alrighty, well. They also have a 0-card hand. So that trade-off is fine. I'm okay with that. Collapse is fine. Let's go Colress. Level Ball, Tink. It's really hard to find what we need. I think we need the boss here. Bench this. Evolve into this. Let's go level ball to grab another one. Evolve that. And then switch into this. Just go insta charge. Okay. We could play Iono, which would suck because we just got this Milotic in our hand. We only have a 3-card hand. If any of that is an out, okay, Irida is a good out for them. I can get them things like Retrieval, Ultra Ball for the Arceus V-Star, which gets them 2 more cards. We finally got the Seal Stone, so we can get the DTE off of that, so that we can start swinging with the Tinkaton. It sucks, but what I might have to do, if they're gonna Greninja me, yeah, now it doesn't matter. What I was thinking is I should boss up the Max Caliber next turn. But now that they have the other Frigibax, it's gonna throw off my prize trade, so it doesn't really matter. If they have Retrieval, no, they just go Hailblade. Okay, thank goodness. So we can evolve our bench, not have to worry about Greninja taking a knockout here. Okay. So we want to put this in play. We want to put this in play. Use that to get rid of the Feebas. Okay. We'll put this. I guess we'll Avery. I think Avery's pretty good here. It does get rid of Frigibax and potentially like the Arceus or something. And then there's DTE, perfect. I can go Carrier to grab, I guess the Jirachi could be a good pickup with the Carrier. Let's see, I can still take the knockout if I do Carrier as well? Yeah, I should be fine with that, so let's go. Actually, what I might do I have it in deck? Just to be safe so that they don't bench snipe my board. Let's go Seal Stone. Grab the Heavy Ball so that I can grab Manaphy. I think that's going to be a pretty decent play for me. Let's go Heavy Ball for the Manaphy. What else do we have prized? 2 DTEs. Okay, that's good to know. And Tinkatink. Okay, so hopefully we can grab the DTEs off of our prizes. We'll go ahead, put this here, and then we'll go Carrier to grab these guys. That way I have an out to another Tink next turn. I can go ahead and collapse. Wait, can I collapse? Yes, I can collapse to get rid of the Rotom V. It's done its purpose, right? It's drawn us our cards. It used a Seal Stone. Now I can get rid of that 2 prize liability. And then we'll just go ahead and big hammer for knockout on the Chien Pao. Okay, DTEs, no DTE. Well, we get the Heavy Ball, so we can grab that Tinkatink that's prized. Now, does my opponent have the opportunity to take a knockout on this Tinkaton EX? That's going to be the big play for them. Can they get the superior energy retrieval to knock out Tinkaton EX? They have a 6-card hand, and there's an Irida, so it does seem like they can get the knockout this next turn. Okay, let me look at their... They still have some rare candies left. Okay, wait, no, they've used 2 rare candies. So this is my potential play next turn. I could send up the Tinkaton with the gather materials, put the reversal energy, and knock out the Baxcalibur. That way they don't have a Chien Pao set up for next turn. And then I could retreat, swing with the Tinkaton EX, so that I could potentially go knockout, knockout, knockout. That does mean I have to give them 1 extra turn. But if I go about it like this, right? If all they need is another retrieval in order to take a knockout for their last 2 prizes, so I think I am just gonna try and knock out the Baxcalibur this next turn. We'll gather materials, get rid of the VIP pass, Rare Candy, pretty good. I don't have the Tinkaton though. Do I have any Tinkatons left? I should. I lost zone 1. There's not 1 prize, so there's 1 in the deck. So we can actually do this. We can go heavy ball to grab this Tinkaton, or Tinkatink. That way we have access to both of those. We can do this. Guess we throw the reversal energy onto the active. Go boss up Baxcalibur. And then knock it out for 180 with a special hammer. And then now they don't have access to Baxcalibur. They don't have access to Baxcalibur. They can't power up a Chien Pao. They're down 2 rare candies. They'd have to play a Frigibax. So I think we're able to kind of get back in the game as long as we can prevent them from getting a Frigibax in play. So if I Pal Pad the boss back into the deck and maybe try and hope to draw into it, that could be a potential play. And then that might put me back on prize trades. Because then after that, I just need a knockout on a Chien Pao. I could even go for Jacq this next turn. No, I need to get boss, don't I? Yeah, because there's a Frigibax. There's a retrieval. So they're getting the energies preemptively and putting the Frigibax in play. Trying to think if I have any other potential plays next turn. I mean, worst case, if I need to, I could just, excuse me, Astral Misfortune, try and knock out a Chien Pao that way. Woo, getting gassy. Okay. Let's thin out our deck as much as we can. We do have another boss in the deck. And we do have the Tinks. I think we just have to hope and pray we can get a boss with this gather materials. We got the boss. That's pretty great there. We can actually draw into some more of my deck. Don't want to deck out, but I think we should be fine. The game should be done in 2 more attacks. This is nice because then it guarantees me to try and grab the Tinkaton EX next turn. Go ahead, boss up the Frigivax. Use the special hammer again. Now this puts us at even prizes. They can't knock out anything on my board, which is really good. Hopefully we get DTE. No DTE. Well, we have one in hand. I'm just worried. No, we have the Milotic. Okay, I'm not worried about any late game Ionos. Now this next turn, they can't knock out a Chien Pao. I just use Gather Material to draw through my whole deck. I can even use Jacq, actually, so I don't even need to draw through my whole deck. Put a Tinkaton in play, attach DTE, and then knock out. So lucky for us that we got that. We had a lot of outs though, right? Like we were able to draw into another Tinkaton. Even if we didn't get the boss off of the first Gather Materials, we could still kind of go through it again. Ooh, that was a misplay on my opponent's part. They definitely should have knocked... Okay, that was actually scary now that I think about it. Because if they didn't do that, if they just knocked out the Tinkatink, I wouldn't have been able to get a Tinkaton in play. And I would have been set back at another turn. But no, it looks like they're going after the Milotic, which at this point of the game, it's not really necessary. Yeah, my opponent definitely threw there. And I definitely threw, because I probably shouldn't have evolved into the other Gather Materials, because then that would have given me 2 options to evolve into a Tinkaton. I definitely should have waited this turn to evolve into the Gather Materials. But no, it looks like they just opted to go for that. Let's go ahead and just use Jacq to grab the 2 Tinks. And go Rare Candy into the Tinkaton EX. Drop the DTE and then swing. And they can just concede. Okay, but yeah, so that was actually pretty scary at the end. We were gonna, you know, potentially lose if they cross-switchered up that Tinkatink, but they somehow thought that the Milotic was a threat. They didn't think that we were able to get another Tinkaton in play, but we were just, you know, a couple cards away from drawing through our whole deck and getting that knockout. So that was really close. Definitely a lot of, you know, scary moments there, but we were able to pull out in the end. So if you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys later. This is deck one thing.